I remember when I first started playing and I was going around the city looking for pinball machines and I heard there was a Monopoly and it had it in multiple locations and I went searching and searching trying to find this Monopoly. And once we found it, it was like, finally, you know, because you always think Monopoly would just be the coolest theme.
Flipping a table usually ends the board game, but with Stern's Monopoly, it's highly recommended. In this episode, we explore the work of legendary pinball designer Pat Lawlor and how his games can create memorable moments for players of all skill levels. Our guest shares his takeaways from an exciting tournament matchup against a true pinball legend. Let's get flipping. Do you think you have to be a fan of Monopoly to enjoy a pinball machine?
You know what? I think being a fan of a theme is a huge selling point, but I don't think it always is. You know, I think Monopoly was a great theme. Everybody loves Monopoly. Everybody remembers it. You know, we all remember playing it with our parents when we were a kid.
So how'd you feel when you flipped it for the first time?
As any new game, you learn stuff and you realize some similarities and some differences and you know, you see where they tie the theme into it. You know, they got the board in the middle, you know, so we get to play the game. Or even little things, when you start the game, you get $1,500, just like when you play the board game. I think that's a thing that a lot of people notice. They go, hey, how come my score is not 0? Well, they tried to tie it into Monopoly, right? So it's all about that theme integration and what can pull people in. And then you got Mr. Lawlor, and he gives you the Lawlor favorites, the upper flippers, the side ramps, the cool mechs. Then it brings you back in, and you go, oh yeah, it's a Lawlor game.
It's got that vibe to it.
Yeah.
What do you think Pat Lawlor brought to the game?
Oh, Pat Lawlor, he brought mechs and attractive gameplay. Adam's family, he's got the hand, and the thing hand that comes out of nowhere, grabs a ball. Monopoly, the bank door that opens. You know, everyone wants to bust open the bank. The electric chair. in Adam's Family.
I do love his layouts, like, and he doesn't recycle them. I know we've touched it a few times. They're not the same, but he gets the most out of that kind of Lawlor layout, right? The center ramp. The chair shot in the center of the playfield here. The side flipper is a must. A couple options on the ramp shot, of course.
Yeah, like Adam's Family, you can hit the bear ramp off of both flippers. It gives you lots of options.
Yeah, I think that might be it, is that how approachable they are to kind of all skill levels. Like, I think skilled players obviously can squeeze whatever they can out of any pinball machine, but Lawlor seems to, with his bells and whistles and all these other things, and the layouts, really do appeal to novice, to intermediate, and expert.
Yeah. I think that's the biggest thing. His mechanisms really bring the pinball player to the table, and then his layout keeps the expert there.
It's a really good way to put it, yeah.
A lot of similarities he has is he likes to through the pop shot. You know, he loves, I think on most of his games, he's got a shot through the pop bumpers, and then he always likes to throw a cool mech in there or something,
Yeah.
so.
His designs to this day have that kind of stuff in them.
Yeah, exactly.
So Pat Lawlor does love his mechs. What is a mech?
I think a mechanism is just something to put a smile on your face.
That's awesome. Something that kind of handles the ball for you for a minute.
Exactly.
Nice.
You know, the spinning flipper, you know, it's not a complicated mech, but it's never been done before. You know, Twilight Zone, he's got the, he put the power in there. Completely, doesn't even have flippers, it just uses magnets. Never been done before. Just, you know, he's always trying to do something innovative.
How many times have those Lawlor double out lanes stung you?
Oh, you know.
It's a nightmare, right?
You got a ball coming down, hits the top of the lane, jumps into the out lane, and you just shake your head.
Dives in there.
That's all you can do.
You can just walk away before it even hits, right?
Exactly.
Trapping one ball is manageable, but 2-on-1 flipper can feel like you're actually trapped. With a tiny clap of the button, a microflip sets one ball free, ideally tiptoeing down the sling and jostling across the gap. The ball might take a few creative bounces along the way, so be patient. You don't want to panic and lose them all. So Pat Lawlor designs, like you said, are very similar, but they've somehow managed to play differently. So like, for example, the skill shots Monopoly and Adam's Family are almost identical.
Yes,
but
very similar.
But they still feel different.
Yeah, Adam's Family, it's like, it's a key. It's almost a key skill to the game. Where Monopoly, you can feed it through a couple different ways. You know, you can short plunge it, do the skill shot, or long plunge it. Where Adam's Family, that skill shot's almost necessary.
It makes the game.
Yeah.
It really does. Especially when you have a multi-ball ready and it locks it for you.
Exactly.
It's so beautiful when that happens.
Yeah, that's the worst feeling, when you've got multi-ball ready and you miss your skill shot and then drain out in multi-ball and you lose a tournament or a match.
Yep, a few skill shots can make a difference.
Exactly.
Every game.
I think with Lawlor games, he gives you so many different strategies too. You look at Adam's family, you can go for multi-ball, you can go for bear ramps, you can go for the electric chair, tour the mansion. You know, there's so many different strategies with a Lawlor game. Or even with Monopoly, you can go, you know, big strategy is multi-ball, collect those jackpots all day, or you can go and complete the board and keep getting points off the board, you know. The chance shot can award you a lot of good mysteries, quick multi-balls. You know, again, so many strategies. The bank, open the bank vault, go from there.
I've been trying to get the cash grab or land grab, the wizard mode, for a while on this one, but it's just not working.
Yeah, Lawlor makes you work for those wizard modes.
Yeah, I like to think it's like something maybe a little more than multi-ball. Some people just go only so far with it and don't even realize that there's something to win or something to achieve. What do you think makes a shot satisfying?
One of the things that amazes me is that we say that, but yet it's a ball under glass that's away from you. So how is it satisfying? But yet somehow it is.
It's the way it speaks through your hands or something. I don't know, man.
It's the way it rolls on that ramp. You hear it sliding across the metal. You hear it coming down the rails. You hear it hitting the switch, making the ding. You know, the delay, the giving you a second to take a breath and then figure out where you want to go, what jackpot you want to make.
That's actually a really good point, taking a breath. Like Lawlor is known for that kind of stop and go kind of play, right? Compared to Richie, who's King of Flow.
King of Flow, yeah.
Do you have a preference for like the stop and go versus a flow kind of go?
I think there's nothing more satisfying than flow. You know, making 1 ramp, 2 ramp, 3 ramp, 4 ramp. You know, we all love combos.
I would argue, just for fun,
yeah,
I do love a good step away while an animation's going or ripping up. Like if you're playing against someone and you know that the multi-ball is going to really dial it in for you.
Adam's family.
Clunk that ball and have a little walk around.
Showtime!
Ooh, I don't know, man. Stop and go is not so bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely say Lawlor gives you those pinball moments.
That's
you know, we all remember Showtime in Adam's family. Everyone loves that. When I play Twilight Zone, I'm quoting every call-out because it's so fun. You know, the call-outs are huge. That's what a lot of people remember. You see people really get their energy pumped from that.
Yeah, and having a conversation with the machine is all part of it because it's you and the machine and whoever's around if that's what you're into. Like, there's so many ways to enjoy it. So Drew, what was it like to face Keith Alwyn at the North American Pinball Championships?
I remember going into it, I looked up the player that I was playing and he was ranked 60th in the world and I was, you know, pretty nervous and I ended up doing pretty well against him. As I was almost done with that opponent, my friend texts me and he says, you realize if you win this, you'll probably be playing Keith Alwyn because Keith had a bye. And
so you hadn't looked that far ahead on the bracket yet to see who you'd be up against?
No, I did not.
Whoa, that would have been a hell of a surprise.
Yeah, I opened my phone and my gut kind of dropped. And you know what? I'll admit I got pretty down on myself and I went, well, I got as far as I did and, you know, that'll be fine and Keith's going to kick my butt and I can say I played against Keith Alwyn, and when I played him, he chose Iron Maiden, which I think was kind of cheap. He chose his own game, you know. But hey, I guess when you're designing the games, that's a good strategy.
It's a pretty good advantage to have.
Yeah. So we played Iron Maiden. He kicked my butt on that. I'll very much admit that, and. You know, and yeah, I got down on myself and I went, well, let's get this over with. So I chose a game that I knew, and I chose Iron Man, and I took game 2 on him on Iron Man. I played pretty well, and you know, once I beat him, I went, hey, he's a human, I'm a human, he's not God, and I got a lot of my confidence back.
Can you just describe for me what Game 7 was against the GOAT?
When we played Game 7, it was my choice. I decided to choose Black Knight Sword of Rage. Again, a game I was familiar with. A lot of people thought I should have chosen EM and left it up to luck. But my reasoning was, if I'm going to lose to Keith Alwyn, I'm going to lose on a legitimate game. And I said that in front of Keith, and he smiled, and he said, hey, I respect you for that.
I respect you for that. That's amazing.
And,
it's a great play.
So we got on to Black Knight. We both had some pretty mediocre ball 1s and 2s. I had my multi-ball set up. We got into ball 3. I was able to put everything together. I got a mode going. I was able to pair that up with a multi-ball. I was able to get the hurry-ups going and, you know, keep a ball going. Then, again, like I said, pinball's pinball. I had a stuck ball. The ball search went, and after the ball search, the ball hit the sling and went down the left out lane. Nothing I could do about it. But again, that's pinball. You can't get mad about it. Mm-hmm. Keith came in. He put on a show. I remember his multi-ball wasn't the longest, and he wasn't able to get an add-a-ball, so he really had to grind at it. He got some hurry-ups. One thing I'll never forget was when he used the Magna save and pulled it about 3 inches out of the out lane.
Holy smokes.
So that was that was definitely funny. All you could do was laugh. Keith ended up squeaking it out, and he got one of his hurry-ups and realized that he had passed me, and he drained the ball, and you know, it was said and done after that. Yeah,
that's an experience that, oh man, what an experience.
It was definitely amazing to me that I was doing that after only playing for a year and a half.